So I'm just going to do a little demo video here. I've taken the case off, the protective case, and it's just easier to access the parts. You can do this as well. You'd have to wear safety glasses when you do this. Anyways, the piece of brass that we have here is just a old piece of brass. I already did a little bit of a part clean here, and what that is when you use low level power on the laser and certain frequency and speed setup, it'll actually etch the surface clean and remove anything off the top and take a thin layer of the brass off. So I'm just going to put my shield in front. Okay, I have a circle. I'm going to turn the light on, which is going to show the marking area. So it's going to put the circle inside that square. I have my target, and now we're going to just stop the display laser, and we're going to turn on the actual laser to mark. And this is only at 20% power. So 100% is full, as you know. And we're going to quickly just do a surface prep, and then we're going to mark inside that circle. So I'm doing what's called a hatch, which is two sweeps, and they're at 90 degrees of each other. And I'll put the camera just on the other side here so you can actually see it. Now what the camera's showing and what I'm seeing are two different things. I'm seeing a continuous little sparkling white line with a red line behind it. And this is kind of because of the frame rate, it's showing this effect, but it's not really like that. So I did a surface clean. It won't take the dents away until you actually go down that low. But in this case, we're just doing example marking, and most people don't really care about small stuff like this when it comes to demos. So I'll do one more pass again. And I'll keep it behind the safety glass. Then this will prep us so we have a nice clean area to do a part marking, and you can see the contrast. When we do part marking, we turn the power up. Alright, so that's our circle there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this circle, and I'm going to select font, where we start the fonts. So the text, it shows you what you're going to be typing in there. So it's set up for Arial Black. Just leave it at that because it's kind of bold. And I'll just select some random type here, so I'll call it part laser. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry about moving the camera around. Then we have to click apply, which is right here. When you do that, it applies it, and then we can grab it, move it anywhere we want. We can also resize it. In this case, I'm going to resize it, say about that big. Move it to an approximate location. Hit light so I can see where it's going to be marking. Oh, it's way over there. Okay. I forgot to move it to the center of the page. Something happened here. Just, that was my fault. Must have been when I released the mouse. I'm just working on a pad here. I don't actually have a mouse. Okay, so we can see where the part is. We're going to move that over. Get a little closer. Something like that. Turn the light on again. Okay, so we're much closer here. And then I'm going to move it just up a tad. And that should be good. One more check. Yeah, so we're inside the circle. I'll move the metal just a little bit just to make it easier. So this is where we're gonna part mark now. But before I do that, I'm gonna change the settings. And you can memorize these settings and file numbers and set them up, mark different areas and whatnot. But in this case, for dark marking, I always use 100. And by the way, these fiber lasers, their lifespan is usually good up to 100,000 hours. 50,000 hours is a minimum. I'll move that to 500 speed. I'm going to change my frequency. I'm going to go to 20. Alright, so, oops, power is supposed to be 100. There we go. So mark speed, power, frequency, part is there. And now I'm going to part mark. Every time you do it, it gets darker and darker. Then if I want to fill it, that's sort of like a wireframe, I guess you could say. Then if you want to fill it, you go to what's called a hatch. So put it in the hatch mode, which is the H. And you just click OK. Now the letters are solid. And when I do the part mark, it's going to be slower, but it's going to be full fill. So this is a part marking on brass, and it doesn't matter what you do. Now it needs a little cleaning after you part mark because there's just going to be some residue. No matter what you do to this, just rubbing and rubbing, nothing's going to change it. That's what it's going to be. You can take sandpaper to it after, and even sandpaper has a problem lifting it off. Let me see if I have some here. It'll just be 1 second. Okay, I just go light with the sandpaper. And I go harder now. Not only marked on the surface, it's almost like it's changed its metallurgy a little bit from the heat of the laser and the intensity. So you always have a part, you just look at it on a different angle. This is just reflective. But that part number is there. So it's not like something that you would put on in any other method. This is actually more or less you're burning the metal.